Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Akuban Nights. How was your holiday? Your freedom?
Filled with food and drinks.
Oh,
and
Way
presents.
too much food. Way too much food.
I literally didn't do anything for Christmas. It was
Bud.
Did you do anything in the last 3 weeks?
A what?
Had some good time with the family. My mother is still not the best cook.
Oh, that's
I
harsh.
love my mother to death.
He did
I
say
love
he
my
was
mother to death, but the result of this Christmas was that next year she's not cooking. So,
Oh my god!
but yeah, otherwise was nice. Was a good time with the family, and we enjoyed our time together. So that was all great.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I too had a good time with the family. And I have nothing bad to say about them.
because they watch your shows.
Clap back or anything.
They don't, actually. I could say anything and they would never know. Although I did get to show them
You know
what
why
I do
they
for a
would
living
never
for the
know?
first time.
Because they never watch your stuff, Neal.
That's what I just said.
And
Yeah.
why is that though?
Why don't they watch your stuff, Neal?
Yeah, Neal.
Because they don't like this sort of thing. They're all busy with... My little brother's building his motorcycles. My mom's retired. My dad might be interested, but he's sort of just like, no, I'm just going to hang around the house and walk the dog from time to time.
Doesn't retired mean you have a lot of free time to watch your son's shows?
Yes, it does, Daniel. Yes, it does. And yet they don't.
Not even my daughter watches my shows.
Oh,
I feel your pain, Fuzzy. Feel it.
How old is your daughter?
15, I think.
Oh.
She's a mod on my channel. She'll very occasionally come in and threaten to ban people and then leave again. But you know.
Yeah.
I think if you're
know.
15, you have other things on your mind, I guess.
No, like 20% of our
I had
audience is 15-year-olds.
my mind when I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, mine's currently doing her exams. I think she's just like, no, can't be doing it.
I thought D&D was for nerds when I was 15. Then I found out I was a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my kid likes
Oh
to
my
mod
God.
Skyrim, so she's already a nerd.
All right. Okay. Well, nerds, where did we leave off? First off, Sammy was unconscious. As always.
no. From the very
Again.
beginning,
Again.
we were all doing fine in a different city, and then Neal decided that there was going to be a civil war amongst the families.
Look, man, you
And-
started the Civil War by something. It's somehow your fault.
By our father just dying.
Yeah.
And that was our fault.
Technically,
Yeah.
he started the Civil War. God damn it, Dad, you're the worst.
He is. He is. Good. Okay, so other than Sammy being unconscious and the Civil War being around.
I'm not unconscious anymore.
Okay.
I have just woken up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's it. We were camping in some beautiful woods that definitely aren't infested with kobolds and other horrors.
Barbarians.
That's right. Let's get some
Things.
forest sounds. Let's get some... No. You guys were camped in the woods, but also down by the ocean, which is why we have our very pretty ocean.
No. Remember, we started
we
out in the
moved
ocean,
up from
and,
it.
yeah, I moved us to by a stream because it's better, sort of like camping, so we didn't
Right.
die of hydraulic.
Fine.
We'd moved upstream, up a cliffside, and then someone did some
Up the
hunting.
beach, up a cliff, up sort of like up the coast a bit towards us where a river is.
All
you
right.
know.
All right. Let me get you a more appropriate image then.
Thank you. We appreciate
But
it.
I like the seaside one.
No. They've said we need to change it.
Feels like
so it needs to
vacation.
change.
Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside.
This is not a vacation. I'm sorry.
All right. Here's the Teltemrus Woods in the background. The dead kobold you can't quite see, but that's fine. Here you guys are. Sammy is unconscious again, and you guys are in the woods, and you're all camping, and you've got 3 days worth of food. You're not really unconscious, Sammy. I can't stop saying it.
Thank you.
Earlier, we had decided to put up a straw poll to see how long Sammy would it take for him to fall unconscious, or how many times that he would fall unconscious, but I don't think we got it together to do it. Next session, we'll put the straw poll up.
If he's still alive by then.
Of course, of course.
We'll see.
I'm trying, okay, I'm trying.
We still have a healer in our midst.
Yeah, and you're all mostly still alive, so that's great.
And Maya messed up the cooking, so I'm gonna wake up and cook the rest of our food and try and jerky it.
Okay, so it is the 27th of April.
15 something.
I want to say
15.
1511.
It's
Wanna
the
s-
one before.
Oh, it's 1511. It's totally 1511. Yeah.
Yeah, because 1512 is fro.
No, no one's gotten to 1512 yet.
Oh, okay, we're in the same year.
Yeah. It's just you're like 9 months behind or something.
Right.
Yeah, they're like
Okay.
November. Something. Anywho, you're all here. You're roughly in this spot underneath the O in woods.
Which O?
The second O in woods.
Okay.
You could be the first one. They're very close to each other. What would you guys like to do?
Jerky some meat.
Done. You are working on that. You have a cooking proficiency, yeah?
I have a cooking proficiency.
Perfect. You don't need to roll anything. You'll jerky some meat. Yasi is with you, and she looks a little nervous. Probably because the other families have waged war on you, and, the whole kingdom's falling to pieces, and people are probably dying left and right, and you guys have been relegated to camping in the woods. But she's certain that you'll make it through alive. But for now, she's just pacing back and forth uncomfortably. And I think once Sammy's made everyone some decent food that Budarius would be proud of, she kind of gathers everyone around, sits you all down, and says, "Well, my lords and ladies, we're in a bit of a pickle."
That is an understatement.
Where to?
Well, we have options.
Yes.
We do?
We always have options, but Darius.
Yes,
Well,
we could die here or we could die somewhere else. It'd be lovely.
or we could die 50 years from now. Which I'll take my chances.
50? Oh, I was hoping for at least 80.
Well, I'm not sure what allies we still have, if it's all. But the man that warned us, forgetting his name, Daniel's forgetting his name.
The man who saved your life?
The man who saved our life. He definitely did not. He put himself in far too much risk to not be called an ally.
Mm-hmm. God, if only we knew his name.
Zeb?
That sounds about right.
I think it's Zeb.
That sounds about right.
Zebedee, yeah.
It was a very short name.
Zeb Shazar, right?
The local Shazar representative, yes.
Seb, indeed. S-E-B.
Ah, Seb. Okay.
Zeb.
I don't have a way of contacting him or tracking him or knowing if he's still alive, but I
could
could.
slip back into the city and have a look around if you want.
Could. I do have a. There was a spell in the list he gave me, in the books that could send a messenger, to find him.
Ooh, what spell is that?
It is called Message. It has like a 3-mile radius or something.
What an appropriately titled spell. Messenger.
Messenger. Okay.
Yes, 1 mile per level, and you are level 3, so 3-mile radius. Yes, that would work quite nicely. if you could be within 3 miles of the capital, or not the capital, of the building, the place, which, yeah, you're probably about 3 miles out. Yeah.
If we wanted to send a message to him, I would need to spend some days perusing the books and trying to figure out the intricacies of his spell. It's at least one of our options. As for continuing on, we could, I don't know. Really now, Akuba is in peril, and if we are to win a civil war, we must acquire power, really. Our father has already put us on a path to acquire power to defend Akuba itself from other threats, but to defend Akuba internally may end up we have to put ourselves on the line to let our voices be heard.
Well, that sounds fun, doesn't it? Oh, Neal, I sent a message hawk off to my mother.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
That was a few days ago, right?
Yeah.
Let me make some dice rolls and see how that worked out for you.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Actually, give me a proficiency check for your bird before I roll anything. An animal handling check, perhaps? Or an animal training? Or a falconing? Any proficiency related to birds?
I don't really have one. I just have a message.
Okay, perfect. That's
I have a
fine.
bird.
Then I will just make my rolls straight with no advantage or disadvantage applied. Oh, yeah, lovely. So your bird probably returns to you... How far is this? That's like 66 miles. Yeah. Your bird is arriving sometime later today. Might as well call it right now. There is a small little note strapped to its ankle.
Ah,
It's a little small scrap of paper.
yeah.
And it just says, Maya, I'm okay, but I'm in danger. Help
Kind of. Oh, mother.
when you can.
You got a reply, Maya?
Yes, my mother says she's in danger. She didn't tell me what sort of. Her handwriting is awful. Mother.
At least you can tell it is her handwriting.
True, but you'd think she'd use both sides of the paper and tell me what the danger was.
Maybe she's under duress? Maybe someone wants us to come back to rescue her.
She's just a courtesan. They're not important. Why would anybody do that?
Yasi speaks up and says, I'm sure they'd be fine to your mother. I'm a little concerned about our immediate safety and peril. Not that I doubt your abilities to procure food, but the 5 of us out here in the woods while, army groups are moving about looking for us is, we should...
Hideously dangerous?
Yes, thank you, Maya. I would like to suggest as an advisor and in no way, a decision maker, that we find a place to lay low and get our bearings and maybe a place, a little bit more permanent safety.
Perhaps
Yeah,
we'll find a farm.
I was thinking about that. But I don't know if I came up with any solution for it. Because as I told you last session, I wanted to use my proficiency to figure out if there's any ruins or any kind of more permanent housing option available nearby. It's maybe not being used anymore.
There are caves along the coast. If you head along the beach, you can probably find some caves that would have been used by smugglers. Long, deep, narrow crevasses where no one would see you that you could hide out in, probably fine. There are going to be a few sort of like ancient tombs that you could rip open and hide in. There are the barbarians nearby that usually aren't very friendly to the ruling families, but now that the Civil War has broken out, who knows how they feel about things, or even if they're alive. But most other monuments or known places to rest would probably be frequented by somebody occasionally. If you find a great old building, like an abandoned church out in the woods, someone's probably going to come by and find it, because none of the things here are too abandoned. This is a pretty densely populated area with the goblins and kobolds running around. No place is really all that safe, unless it's, truly abandoned.
So, I think I'm basically going to relay this to our family members. I gave it some thought, and there are some caves along the coast that have in the past been used by smugglers. Maybe this is an option to hunker down and start planning. Otherwise,
Thing about caves is when they're abandoned, they are very quickly overtaken by monsters, or monstrous things at least. It could be a lair for goblins, kobolds, or something even nastier. Just a heads up.
there might be some tombs to the north, which we might hide in as well.
Brother,
And,
brother, do
yes.
you really think that abandoned tombs are a good place to hide?
Well, once
was
you
the last
clear
time we
them
went
of
to-
anything that might be in it.
Well, the
Well,
last
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 one,
time went great.
Brother.
We had a discussion with our uncle. I think it went great.
the last one was particularly defended in the middle of a city.
I mean, the other option might be the barbarians. In the past, they didn't have anything good to say about the
But-
nobles, but
Are
as
The
we,
we're not in
barbarians-
nobles anymore,
are we
Even I can't suggest that.
the ones that are breeding basilisks, you mean?
Basilisks are
I'm
a
just-
symbol of your country. Is that a good sign? Or is that a really
Can
bad
someone
sign?
make a history check of why we have a basilisk, or did we already do that?
They're around. They're powerful creatures. They're really terrifying and scary. They make great things to put on flags, They live in the Brasslands. They live up in the Dracilian Hills.
So it's similar to like a lion. They live around and they are powerful.
Yeah. It's just
It's
like
a symbol of power.
ramparting lions and shit.
I think the cave is really the best of a bad op, but caves or barbarians are fine. We'll go with the cave then.
If we were to find an abandoned tomb of note, it could house something to aid us in our protections. Do you know of any tombs of notable heroes, men, women?
I mean, there might be one near
Flames,
the barbarians.
I think in the Brasslands we might find one. But
I would just like
it
to
would be a
register.
lot easier if we would be on good terms with the barbarians and not just try to invade
I'm
their
not
land.
marrying a barbarian. No.
I think you're already betrothed to someone else, Maya.
If the
If
baby's
he's
still
even
alive.
still
that is.
alive.
Yep.
Well, let's send a message over to your future husband, shall we? See what comes
I
back.
don't think he's gonna write back.
Oh,
Maya, I didn't even think about.
No.
I didn't even think about you marrying any barbarian. I think Sammy would fit this role a lot more. He needs a strong woman at his side.
excuse me. I have my sister.
It's just
Not like that.
Okay. Oh,
Like, so then, Yasi says, clapping her hands together, we are decided to the Brasslands? She says hesitantly.
Not decided to the Brasslands. No.
Oh, my apologies. And she.
Yasi, can I ask you a question? Would I be right to assume that since there's this war going on, that any bigger city would be a threat to us at the moment?
That sounds reasonable. Until we know more.
I would be all right in the city, but I'd be fine on my own.
I understand. And I mean, they will have scouts looking for us, I assume. And there will be travelers who might see us. These are all risks we might encounter.
How long have I been out? How far away are we from the capital?
More importantly, what's everyone's HP at? Real quickly. That seems like an important
I fully
detail.
healed.
Full.
I'm full.
Yo.
No,
All right.
I'm not sure if I fully healed.
Your mana is a little bit shy, yeah?
My mana would have gone all the way down. Oh, I have a 10 wound. That's why. I've had 2 HP with a 10 wound.
Okay, so you're at 0 MP and 2 HP with a 10 HP wound? Holy shit. So you need like 3, 6, 9 days of rest. That would heal you 6 HP, and then your sister could heal you the rest of the way. So Sammy needs a nap. A week-long nap.
I could do with at least a day of a nap to get some mana.
Sarah, what about you? What's your wound situation like?
I'm good.
Are you at full?
I'm actually good, yes.
Okay.
I got fucked up by a crocodile.
They
Okay.
should put this back on 100, yep.
There we go. Wonderful. Well, you're just sitting, discussing plans. Where you gonna go?
I mean,
Maya is just heavily disapproving of all plans that involve any element of danger.
The thing is, we wanted to take care of the barbarian situation anyways, right? Like, this entire plan with the kobolds and the barbarians, it was something we wanted to follow through on before this whole civil war started.
Yeah.
And now there's a civil war, but it doesn't change, like, whatever's happening in the Grasslands right now.
Yes,
It doesn't change what's happening in the
It's not
Brasslands,
our problem.
but it's changing the reason for us coming out.
We aren't the ruling family anymore. It doesn't matter what we do.
We're still trying to be the ruling family, though, Maya. And regardless, bringing the barbarians either to their knees or to our side.
Do we really feel that the four of
Given-
us could handle a large group of barbarians who have basilisks, tame basilisks? Do we really think that's a thing we can do?
With a plan. We
Yes,
don't know how
because
many
our
there are.
plans always. Our plan. They have at least 2 because they're breeding them. Probably more, but 2 basilisks is already an issue.
We only have heard word that they're breeding them, so we know for certain that there's at least one, because that is the only one that has been seen by the kobolds.
One basilisk is not breeding. One basilisk is just we have a pet basilisk.
They can say they can say they have thousands of basilisks. It doesn't change the fact of how many they have. They could just have one.
Yes.
Wouldn't
Okay.
you
One basilisk.
inflate your numbers to?
Even one basilisk is still an issue. Sammy, we
I know.
one wrong
What
look in
about-
the wrong place and you're a statue. While I would make a lovely statue, don't want to be a statue.
you would sure be beautiful, Maya, but I think as a statue you wouldn't be able to use your tongue, and that would take away from your personality. I don't think we should look at the barbarians as enemies right now, but rather as us as travelers seeking refuge
What do they know?
We could offer them skills or something to trade.
Okay, it's about now that I want everyone to roll me a perception check.
Because there's a basilisk.
Because there's a basilisk, and if you pass your perception check, you see it and you die.
Oh no! Oh shit! I need to open my.
Roll 20. Yeah.
No, I need to open my personal character sheet.
Oh.
There we go.
Old Mighty doesn't see the basilisk.
at all.
Safe.
That's a D20 plus your perception skill, yeah?
Yeah.
If you don't see the basilisk, that's good though, right?
That's good. It's good.
Isn't it bad when you see the basilisk?
It is, but there's not actually a basilisk there. I was just taunting. So while all this conversation is going on, Sammy spots a goblin. It has crawled up a creek and is now hiding behind a bush, peering around the corner, watching the five of you chat. You are definitely the only person to see this, Sammy.
Maya,
Yes.
can I just suggest something? And I start walking over to you. There's a goblin over there watching us.
Oh, I see. Yes. That's. Yes, you can have a look at my bow. Of course, I sort of like unsling my bow and just like, yeah. Now, what you do is you do that, and then I do the turn and fire at the goblin.
All right, turn and take not a blind shot, but a shot at it. Give me a roll to hit.
Okay. Which is I've completely forgotten how to roll again. So.
I mean, I was just gonna suggest we keep talking and see what it does.
D20 plus 3, 1 for level, 2 for dex, I believe.
If you want to talk, going to Maya is in general the wrong idea. If you haven't noticed,
You asked me stab first, ask questions later. Okay, so.
No,
Right.
I figured I was like already next to Faye, and then I walk over, then come back, and it's like, yeah, there's a goblin, and then we all know that it's there. Sorry.
Is it the speed of the Riku?
No, it's going to be 2 for dex, 1 for level, so D20 plus 3. Yeah. Boo! Your arrow plops in the bush near the goblin, who lets out a yelp, and scurries down the creek. We can roll initiative if you guys would like to chase it and kill it.
Yes, I would like to chase it and kill it.
Excellent. It is time for our goblin fighting music.
Christ. I chose poorly.
That's not the goblin fighting music. This is goblin fighting music.
Always go to Maya if you want action. That's a rule, I think.
The intention was just to let everyone know bit by bit.
Look,
but Maya was
there's a goblin behind us. Oh right, whang.
All right, let's roll some initiatives.
does it look weird to anybody else? To me, it says now 0 saving throw and 6 initiative.
What?
Like the
Yes.
rolling
Yes.
thing looks weird.
Yes.
That is correct.
That's because
Okay.
Neal has his own macros from 1 to 5.
Yes, I have. Yes. I've relabeled some things.
So it's a D10 plus your weapon speed, right?
It is. Or you can click on your face and click on the initiative
I can't
button.
because I'm using my character sheet on thing because my character sheet in Roll20 wasn't working properly. So I've
Got
been
you.
using-
You can.
That's fine. The old-fashioned way is the best way, to be honest. D10 plus weapon speed. Beautiful. Okay, our goblin goes first, and it runs down the creek as fast as its little goblin legs will carry it. Vidarius, you're next.
I will take another bowl of this stew that Sammy made, and sit down and start to eat and say, it's actually pretty good.
Because nobody told him, right?
Nobody.
You just-
I mean, you're so next to Maya.
And my perception was a botch, so I'm just so for this stew, I know.
That's perfect, Vidarius. Maya, it's your turn.
All right,
The goblin's made a fool of you.
I'm gonna fire at the goblin again.
Give me another shot.
I'm not sure this epic music is warranted, by the way.
No, it's absolutely the right intensity. You
May as well be.
hit. Give me a roll of the damage.
Alright, and that's 1d6. 3.
Oh, the goblin is wounded badly, but it survives and keeps running. You'll get your second shot at the end of the round, but if you're chasing it, probably not. Sammy?
Sammy will chase after and throw a dagger. D20 plus something.
D20 plus something is probably going to be a hit, I guess.
And that's it's either a D4 or D3. Let me check.
It's D4 for daggers, D3 for knives.
It is a kunai. I don't remember if we chose. Oh, it's not even on this sheet.
Probably-
I'll roll D4 then. It's a 1.
Oh. All right. Sarah.
What if I just want to run after him without attacking him?
You just run.
Does that give me more movement than if I
Yes.
just walk? And okay, I'm gonna run as fast as I can after him.
All right, you catch up to the goblin because you're much faster than he is. And then Maya, you would get your second shot, but I think because it's like running through the woods, it's probably not a clear shot at it. So you can chase if you would like.
Can I shoot to hobble it rather than?
I think the coverage of the woods and its small size and the fact that it spent its whole turn running puts it like behind too much cover to make an accurate shot.
All right, I'm just gonna ping one off at it. So.
Yeah, no. Nope. So it sounds like Sarah and the goblin are adjacent to each other, so I just want the two of you to roll initiative.
What do I roll for a grapple, Neal?
3. You go first. Holy crap.
I'll try to grapple him. What do I roll? Is that strength?
Just a roll to hit against AC 10.
And if it's not with a weapon, do I still get my +1?
From strength, but not specialization.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't. Okay, then I don't get it because I only get +1 damage from strength.
Yeah, we're not worried about damage here. Just roll to hit.
Okay. Natural 20.
My fucking god. All right, you tackle. We don't even need to do opposed strength rolls. You tackle the goblin to the ground. It hits face first in the water, cracking its head on a rock, and sort of goes all daisy and starry-eyed and starts making weird noises and really, yeah, exactly. Little birds are floating around above its head. The goblin's very unconscious.
Okay. Very good.
Maya's
wanna-
gonna sort of like try and find her arrows as she heads towards you two.
Fucking god.
And I'm just gonna yell out for Yassi, and I'm gonna say, Yassi, I need my rope.
Yassi dutifully brings you rope. Maya, your arrow that hit the goblin broke off in him, and the other one is just fucking gone in the woods. You'll never
God
find
damn
it.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the party gathers around the goblin, or the goblin gathers around the party. And here you are next to your little creek. It's way too loud.
It's bleeding. Should we finish it off?
I think we should talk to it first and figure out if, like, the goblins we talked to earlier were trying to find us. You know?
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I'll ask it some questions. She says, just pulling a.
Friendly questions, Maya.
Yes.
We just need to know what tribe it's from.
Carrot and stick. Carrot and stick. I'll be here just in
Carrot.
case.
And stick.
I could probably, like, bring him back to consciousness, right?
Yeah. You can put your hands on the goblin and cure him. What does the goblin think of when you heal him? Or it, you know?
I think, It probably smells like the most amazing steak. Like
It wakes
a
up.
wonderful steak.
It wakes up mouth-watering, looking around. And then it dawns on it that there's no steak. It's been captured. Oh, no.
Yep.
Maya's
goes-
just there cleaning her fingernails with it. It's just sort of like.
So I'll look at it and I'll say, do you speak common?
It says nothing. Do
Oh,
any of you
figured.
speak Goblin?
It's better if you do speak common, I say. You might live longer.
I hand him my stew.
I believe his arms are tied up. Her arms, its arms. You know, it's a goblin. They all sort of look alike.
Do they look that similar? They're like... Wait,
I
are they
don't know.
dogs?
How much time have you spent with goblins?
I mean,
Done.
do we lift up the loincloth?
Does it matter?
No?
I mean, you do what you want, man.
Hey, if you decide that all goblins are genderless, that's up to you.
No one made any such decision.
Oh well.
Anyway. So you're here. Yasi, if none of you speaks Goblin, she does. She is an advisor. She knows many languages. So
Wow.
she will translate for you.
The MX.
What languages does Yassi know, Neal? Just so we know.
Ah, yes. Someone may wish to write this down, including the DM.
Wiki.
So you're saying you just made this up on the spot?
No, absolutely not. But I don't have a complete list of her languages.
Okay.
She speaks Eridonian. She speaks Akuban. She speaks Goblin. She speaks a little bit of Knoll. Not a lot, just a little bit. And she is, I guess, the Hobgoblin and Bugbear are all in the Goblinoid family. And her Goblin is her strength, but she, knows a smattering of Hobgoblin and a smattering of Bugbear. Let's see. She does speak Halfling and Dwarven as well.
All right.
And no Elven, no Nomish, no Kobold. That's all the civilized things around you. So those are... Oh, Ogre. No, she doesn't speak any Ogre. Yep, those are the civilized races around
What
you.
about Drakissian?
Drakissian?
Is that a language?
It is a language, and she does speak it.
Okay.
Good call.
Well, we got a list now.
Well, you also have a translator. So what do you want to ask the Gobby?
I'm going to introduce myself, so I'm going to go. My name is Sarah. Who are you? And I'll point towards the goblin.
Yasi translates, speaking Argy-Bargo, and the goblin says back, through Yasi, of course, I am Rockfinder.
Rockfinder.
This is good stew. Thank you.
Why were you watching us, Rockfinder?
I heard voices.
Are you from around here?
Yes.
Are there other goblins around as well?
Yes.
How many?
Whole tribe.
Yes, we may want to move on then.
Are you friendly to humans and the Akuban people?
Yes, very friendly.
Very friendly.
He beams with a smile.
Yes, does he sound like he's telling the truth? I cannot hear it in his goblin tone, but perhaps you can.
I guess he seems friendly enough.
Does he seem like he would have killed us if we were all alone and he had his tribe? Kind of.
I'm not
friendly.
a psychic, Sammy. I'm sorry.
He's from the he or she. Can you ask them if they are he or she?
None of our business.
The goblin replies back that it is indeed a he. He
Right.
uses male pronouns.
Can you ask him? Oh no, I didn't want you to ask anything, but I just wanted to state that the goblins that were contracted by the barbarians to kill people and pillage roads
That was
are
kobolds.
also like, was it kobolds?
Yeah.
That was kobolds.
Right. Can you ask them if they had any contacts to barbarians lately?
She translates, and the goblin comes back being like, no. We only trade with humans. No barbarians.
Can you
he's
relay
afraid.
my apologies for shooting it? I was a little high-strung, should we say. We've had a bad week.
That's one way to say it, Maya.
The goblin comes back with more of like a humph than a acknowledgement or words.
I just look at it and continue sort of like playing with my knife.
So, I mean, the goblins, they trade with humans as well. I feel like maybe seeking shelter with them is not the worst idea.
It's not the worst, but I wouldn't, close two eyes when we sleep.
Well, you can't close your eyes if you're near humans either. It doesn't matter. You can't close two eyes somewhere in the woods. Right now, we can't close them ever, so...
How do we know the goblins aren't going to sell us out to the nearest, other humans?
Because we don't tell them who we are?
Do they know who we are?
Whoever's looking for us they'll have descriptions,
What?
they'll have rewards.
What do you know about the fight in Talushar in the city to the south?
This is asked of the goblin.
Yes.
There's fighting. It says questioningly.
Was
Oh. Who's winning?
The humans.
Oh. Who's losing?
The humans.
The humans are bad then.
they are.
We are being pursued by bad humans who want to hurt us. We would
Oh.
very much like help. Could you help us?
Yes.
Well, it's the limit of a goblin's mind, I believe.
Do you want to stay with us? We have Big Cave.
Do you have running water?
Yes.
Do you have ways of washing clothes?
Why?
It's a very nice
just-
silk.
Goblins don't wash clothes.
Do you have anything? Do you have soap?
Maya, you have soap.
No. We don't
I have
soap.
very little soap. I have very little soap. This is very nice jasmine soap. I am not using it on my clothes. Do you know how much this cost?
Wait. And I say that in Akuban. Are we really considering going to the goblins when we know that they have contact with the Questari or other family?
It's not like they have regular contact.
No, but contact is
I mean,
contact.
just think about it this way. Noble families would usually see it as way beneath them to personally talk to goblins. They would never
I
even,
would
just like us, they would be standing here saying, there's no way I'm going to talk to some dirty goblin in a cave.
Do you think they're soldiers? They're not going to be looking for us personally. They'll have soldiers and bounty hunters out looking for us. People don't do their own
Yeah,
dirty
but they will know that we're also nobles. And we would never be in a dirty goblin cave. I mean, we have to be in one of the cities, right? That's where we're hiding out. They would never expect us to stay in the woods. That's why they're not sending their people there. In the woods where recently there were all those, like, basilisk attacks and stuff.
I like your reasoning, Sarah.
If they're looking at a place, like, they're probably not looking, you know, there first, at least.
This idea is so crazy, it just might work.
We don't know that they're not looking for us. We know that they haven't found us yet. We haven't seen any of their patrols. They haven't even got out there.
Oh, they're definitely looking for us, but maybe not out here.
I think that using the goblins as, you know, a shield, useful allies.
I don't know.
Would be very useful.
I would much rather seek my luck with the barbarians, who are at least of the same species as I am, and
Brother,
at least they're
we
humans.
could probably take a camp full of goblins. I very much doubt we could take a camp full of barbarians.
And we need some time for
But
Sammy
why-
to rest up, even if we want to go to the barbarians.
Yes, but why do you want to fight the barbarians? Can't we just...
No, it's
If
just
it never
a
came to that.
possibility, you know, if it happens, we're better rested up. That's what I'm saying.
But you know that the goblins will slaughter us in our sleep. They will not wait for us to wake up when they attack us.
Well, one of
That's-
us will need to be on watch at all times then, won't they, brother?
It's
Yes, sure.
a standard camping strategy for Darius.
Spend too much time on your own, brother.
The thing is the cities are dangerous right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We have to
all I know.
trust at least one
we don't
person,
have proper
one
allies, so
set of
we have to be, somewhere safe, like safe from the outdoors. Is what I'm saying.
It's a lesser evil, brother.
How many goblins are there? How big is the tribe?
80.
I can just look at the group again.
Could that
80.
be lost in translation, Yassi? Or
I mean, he said
Goblins aren't
420s, so that's 80, right?
Okay, think of it this way. Goblins are not very bright. We can manipulate goblins a lot more easily than we can barbarians.
Ah, Well,
how do you wish to manipulate them, Maya?
I'm sure we'll think of something. Wait. Do you mean how as in what would I want them to do, or how as in how am I going to manipulate them?
No, what do we want them to do?
no, Sammy, I think she means that we will arrive at the goblin cave, and we will introduce ourselves, and Maya will instantly take her bow and shoot the goblin chief's leader, and establish our dominance over them. Wasn't that the plan?
No? That was-
I've heard worse ideas, bud. I've heard worse ideas.
Well, are we putting this to a vote, or how are we going to decide this? Because I'm not that happy with the goblin idea, but I will go with my family if you decide that it is a good idea.
Bud, do you think it's fate that this goblin has brought it to us? Brought
There's
itself
no
to
such
us?
thing as fate.
Do you believe Tempos may have brought this to us as a sign?
I think that the goblin would make a great stew if we would have the need to eat them. But other than that, I have no idea how Tempos looks upon those unworthy races like goblins I don't care about.
Then why not find our own cave? This was merely something that came across us because we were being loud. And people can still come across us from us being loud.
I'm gonna go to the goblin and just be like, do you have any wine in your camp?
Spirits, no wine.
That'll do.
Do you have wine? We trade.
Sadly, no.
We trade pearl for wine.
Trade what for wine?
Pearl?
We could also
He,
get
like-
on their good side by establishing trades with them. And trade for shelter, perhaps. They've honored trades before.
Sarah, please. What are we going to do? I need a voice of reason here.
All we know is that those barbarians told the kobolds to kill people on the roads. Innocent people. That doesn't make the barbarians good people. Like, they might be open to trades or things like that, but I don't think we're in a position to trade right now. So I think saying that we're offering people things is right now is probably out of question.
Well,
And-
I mean the goblins, not the barbarians.
What?
Offering the goblins trade, as they've
What are you
trade-
gonna trade them? A book?
Maya just sort of like jangles her earrings meaningfully.
Maya has many trinkets that goblins like.
You will owe me if we have to use them.
But
I mean, that's what
can
they're
they-
there for, right?
No, they're useful.
Yeah, but you said something about establishing trade relations, right? That's different to just giving them trinkets for letting us stay.
Yeah. Well, if we trade with them, then we on some level form a level of trust with each other. So if it comes to it, we could trade for food, shelter, weapons, their protection. They know trade. That's what they understand.
I think we need
But
to
they're
ask.
already trading with Talushar. That's why they are patrolling one side of the woods.
We are coming from Talishar.
They're not patrolling. They live here. They have a camp. In a cave. That's not a temporary thing, generally.
I mean, guards could always be anywhere, really, except if you're in the depth of the woods, and that's where we won't survive. You know, we have to take some risks, I think.
I understand. I know that we can't stay here. So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go?
We're going to go down and vote. Everybody who votes for going to the Goblin camp raises their hands. Well, okay, there we go.
Good. The decision is made.
We do not need to trade if we don't need to. It is just an option we have, Maya.
We
I'm
should
not
butter the
trying
goblin
to-
up, though. I'm going to sort of like take one of my 50 gold's worth of extra jewelry and just like leave a small gem out of it, and just sort of like go up to the goblin, cut its bonds, and press the ruby into its hands
Oh. Ooh.
as a token of good faith.
Okay. I take you home.
Sounds
take
good
his
to
spot.
me. Is he is he doing okay, or is he still wounded?
Yeah. He took no damage over 5, so you've healed him back to full if you'd wanted to.
I will also say through the translation, I was like, I apologize again for shooting you. I was worried and nervous.
I'm better now, thank you. The little goblin reaches up, little clammy, wet goblin hand to take yours, Maya. And then,
You've made a
holding your
friend, Maya.
hand, leads you down the creek towards the cliffs.
Yeah, Maya's just kind of like, sort of like plastering on a smile, and this is lovely. I'm going to cut my hand afterwards. This is fine.
Yep. At the edge of the creek, or at the end of the creek, it kind of turns into a waterfall that runs down the side of the cliff and out into the ocean. And you can see that there's a little scramble path that the goblins have made near the little creek running down to get onto the beach. And that's where the goblin takes you. It quickly scrambles down the cliffside and onto the sand below.
As we're walking down, can I ask Yassi? Yassi, do you know anything about goblins and their faith?
Shamanistic
Are they
in nature. They usually don't follow any usually followers of some sort of nature deity.
Right, but it didn't surprise him when I healed him, right? So that is something that happened to him before, apparently.
That is a very astute observation, Your Highness. I did not put that together myself.
Okay. Maybe I should talk to their shaman later.
Well, down the creek you guys head, down the cliff sides you head, and you arrive at the entrance of a goblin cave, a little bit away from this waterfall. It's like a crack in the rock that's maybe 6 or 7 feet wide, maybe like 20 feet tall. It's this really narrow, tall crevice. And you can see the top of it is sort of like blackened from smoke that occasionally rolls out of the cave from whatever they're burning or cooking in there. And also down at the beach near the cave are a half dozen, maybe a little more, other goblins. They're kind of moving back and forth behind rocks, out and forth from the cave entrance. And when they see you coming, sort of stop. And then they see the one goblin with you that's still holding Maya's hand, or has re-grasped Maya's hand. And they start to approach. The 4 of you plus Yasi are now surrounded by 6 + 1 goblins.
I do a slight bow, I guess.
They
Maya
flip.
is internally screaming.
Yep. The one goblin starts jabbering. Not Maya. Yasi translates as best as she can. He's saying that we're here for trade, and that the big chief wants to see us probably. And he's talking about our clothing and how rich it is, and the jewelry and how much of there it is, and something about lots to be traded for, good trades. They're speaking very fast.
If you hear anything about killing us and taking our stuff, let us know, all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The disgust is literally painted in Budarius' face right now. He's not happy being here, and he's really just being quiet and just follows Sarah and Maya.
Plaster on a smile, brother.
I am smiling.
No, you really aren't. You need a better poker face.
Tell me just neutral.
Well, the goblins invite you into their cave. Do you accept?
I start heading in. I start following whoever's leading.
All right. We will come back to Akuban Nights on the other side of our break here, where the goblins have new food. We'll see you guys on the other side. Goodbye.
Is it oysters?